Let me tell you something. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how tired you are. Nobody cares how hard it's been. Nobody is coming to save you. And that might sound harsh, but let me tell you, it's also the greatest news you'll ever hear. Because the moment you realize nobody cares, you stop waiting. You stop expecting. You start working. See, life is indifferent. The universe doesn't play favorites. The market doesn't give handouts. Success, it doesn't come to those who sit and wait. It comes to those who get up, show up, and put in the work every single day. It's easy to look around and say, well, they had a better start than me. Or if only I had the right connections, the right education, the right support. Listen, everybody has an excuse. But excuses don't build businesses. Excuses don't make you stronger. Excuses don't deposit money in the bank. What does? Hard work, smart work, focused work. You've got to stop looking for sympathy and start looking for solutions. See, winners don't wait for the perfect opportunity, they create it. They don't waste time proving their pain, they prove their potential. And how do they do it? They show up when they don't feel like it. They work when nobody is watching. They understand that nobody cares about yesterday's strugglesomely today's results. So ask yourself, are you in the game or are you on the sidelines waiting for permission? Are you moving forward or are you still explaining why you haven't started? Because here's the truth. Nobody cares about how close you came to success. Nobody gives awards for almost. The world pays attention to results. The world recognizes discipline. The world rewards the one who refuses to quit. You've got dreams? Good. Now prove it. Not by talking about it, not by hoping for it, but by working for it, by grinding when it's tough, by focusing when distractions call. And understand this, you're not in competition with anyone else. Your greatest battle is with yourself, your old habits, your old excuses, your old fears. You either rise above them or you stay the same. But you can't have both. So make the choice. Stop worrying about who supports you and who doesn't. Stop waiting for approval. Stop expecting someone to hand you the life you want. Because the truth is simple. Nobody cares. Work hard and focus on you. And when you do, when you commit, when you execute, when you refuse to quit, people will care. Not because they feel sorry for you, but because they respect what you've built. Because they see what you've earned. The world owes you nothing. That's a reality that's hard to accept for some, but it's the first step toward real change. See, too many people go through life feeling like they've been shortchanged, like they deserve more, like someone or something is holding them back. But the truth is, life doesn't owe you success, happiness, or wealth. It doesn't promise you an easy road, and it certainly doesn't guarantee that your dreams will come true just because you want them badly enough. That's not how it works. The moment you understand that, really understand it, you take back your power. Because when you believe the world owes you something, you wait. You wait for things to get easier. You wait for people to notice your struggle. You wait for luck, for opportunity, for a break. But waiting is not a strategy. No one is coming to hand you the life you dream about, and even if they could, it wouldn't mean anything if you didn't earn it yourself. See, struggle isn't something to be avoided. It's something to be embraced. Because struggle builds you. It teaches you what you're made of. It forces you to either rise or remain where you are. And the difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't is simple. The ones who succeed don't wait for life to be fair. They get up every day and do the work anyway. The people who achieve great things understand that no one owes them an apology for their tough start. No one owes them an explanation for why someone else had it easier. No one owes them a shortcut just because they've suffered. And if you want to win, you have to adopt the same mindset. You have to accept that life is what it is, and then decide that you're going to make the most of it no matter what. Because the moment you stop expecting something to be given to you is the moment you get serious about going out and getting it yourself. It's not about fairness. Fairness is an illusion. Some people start ahead, some people start behind, but the starting point doesn't determine the finish line. Your choices do. You can choose to dwell on what you didn't have, or you can use it as fuel to go after what you want. You can sit in self-pity, or you can stand up and build something great. And the best part, no one can stop you if you decide that nothing will. But here's the catch: most people don't want to hear this. Most people would rather believe that their circumstances are to blame, that their boss, their parents, their past, the economy, or some outside force is the reason they're not where they want to be. Because if that's true, then they don't have to change. They don't have to put in the effort. They don't have to face the fact that their life is in their own hands, and that's a tough pill to swallow. But if you can accept it, if you can look yourself in the mirror and say, it's all on me, then you become unstoppable. Because when you stop waiting, you start working. When you stop expecting, you start executing. And when you stop blaming, you start building. That's the secret. That's the truth. And that's the difference between those who win and those who wish. Life doesn't owe you anything, but you owe yourself the effort, the discipline, the commitment to go after what you want. Because no one else will do it for you. Your work speaks louder than your words. In a world where everyone is talking, posting, and promising, the real question is, what are you doing? Because talk is cheap. Plans are easy. Saying you're going to be successful, saying you're going to change, saying you're going to build something great, that part doesn't take effort. Anybody can say it. But results require work. Results require discipline. And the truth is, most people would rather talk about what they're going to do than actually do it. That's why you see so many people start and never finish. They get excited. They tell the world about their big goals. They declare what they're about to accomplish, but when it's time to put in the effort, when it's time to wake up early, to stay up late, to push through the boredom, the frustration, the setbacks, suddenly the excitement is gone. And then they either give up quietly or they make excuses loudly. Either way, they never finish. And why? Because their energy was in the talking, not the doing. Their motivation came from people clapping for them, not from a deep, unshakable commitment to see it through no matter what. See, real winners don't need to announce their plans. They don't need validation before they start. They let their results do the talking. They understand that in the end, nobody cares about what you say you were going to do, only what you actually did. They don't need applause to take action, and they don't need an audience to put in the work. Because they know that what happens in private is what will eventually be seen in public. Think about it. The athlete doesn't become a champion on game day. They become a champion in the hours of training no one sees. The entrepreneur doesn't build a successful business with a single launch. They build it in the late nights and early mornings when nobody is watching. The artist doesn't create a masterpiece by talking about their ideas. They create it through the unseen hours of practice, the revisions, the failures, the relentless pursuit of mastery. But too many people want the recognition before they've done the work. They want to be known as successful before they've earned it. And that's a dangerous trap, because the moment you crave validation more than you crave results, you lose focus. You start working for approval instead of working for progress. You start chasing attention instead of chasing excellence. And that's why so many people stay stuck. They put more effort into looking like they're doing something than actually doing it. If you want to win, shift your mindset. Stop talking. Start building. Stop explaining. Start executing. Don't tell people what you're about to do. Show them what you've already done. Let your results speak for you. Because when you're truly committed to success, you don't have time to convince people. You don't need to argue with doubters. You don't need to respond to negativity. The best response is progress. The best proof is results. The best way to silence critics is to succeed so loudly that they have no choice but to acknowledge what you've built. And here's the thing, when you truly focus on your work, when you put in the effort, when you stay consistent, the results will come. And when the results come, you won't need to introduce yourself. Your work will do that for you. Your discipline will show. Your dedication will be obvious. And at that point, you won't have to chase recognition. It will come naturally, because the world respects action. The world rewards those who do. So talk less, work more, and let your success make the noise. Adversity separates the dreamers from the doers. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has something. They want a better life, more success, financial freedom, recognition, purpose. But the truth is, not everyone is willing to go through what it takes to get there, because the road to success isn't smooth and it isn't easy. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, failures, and moments where quitting feels like the most logical option. And this is where the separation happens. You will know that it wasn't luck, it wasn't talent alone, it wasn't a single moment, it was the daily commitment to your goals. So if you want to win, stop looking for shortcuts Stop waiting for motivation. Stop expecting fast results. Focus on discipline. Focus on consistency, because that's the real secret. That's what will separate you from the rest. And if you can master that, if you can stay committed no matter what, there is nothing you cannot achieve. At the end of the day, it all comes down to you, your choices, your actions, your discipline. Those are the things that will determine your future. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. And no one is going to care about your excuses. But if you commit, if you show up every day, if you push through the hard times, the setbacks, the doubt, and the failures, you will separate yourself from the rest. Because most people won't do it. Most people will stay stuck in their comfort zones, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for things to be easier. But not you. You know better. You know that success is earned, not given. You know that the only way forward is to put in the work, to stay focused, to keep improving, and to never let adversity break you. So make the decision today. Decide that you will outwork, outlast, and outperform everyone who gives up when it gets tough. Decide that you will be relentless, disciplined, and consistent. Decide that no matter what happens, you will keep moving forward. Because when you do that, when you truly commit to your growth, your success, and your future, there is nothing that can stop you. The world rewards those who refuse to quit. So go out there and prove to yourself what you are truly capable of. This is where most people stop, turn around, and go back to comfort. But the ones who keep going, the ones who push through, when everything in them is screaming to stop, those are the ones who make it. See, adversity is not just a part of the journey, it is the journey. Every challenge you face, every hardship you endure, every moment of doubt, it's all a test. It's the universe asking you, how bad do you really want it? Because anyone can be excited at the beginning. Anyone can set goals, make a vision board, talk about their dreams. But when things get tough, when progress is slow, when it feels like nothing is working, that's when you find out who you really are. That's when the dreamers are separated from the doers. Most people assume that successful individuals had it easy, that they just had better opportunities, more resources, or some kind of unfair advantage. But if you look deeper, you'll see something else: pain, struggle, sacrifice, perseverance. The difference is, successful people didn't run from adversity. They used it. They let every failure teach them, every setback strengthen them, every rejection fuel them. They understood that adversity wasn't the end of the road, it was the road. But the majority don't think this way. The majority want things to be easy. The moment they encounter resistance, they start looking for another way, a shortcut, a way out. And if they can't find one, they convince themselves that success just wasn't meant for them. They tell themselves stories about why they failed: bad timing, bad luck, bad circumstances. But it's not about any of that. It's about how you respond to difficulty. Do you let it break you, or do you let it build you? Because the truth is, adversity is a gift. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become stronger than you were before. Every time you push through, you level up. Every time you keep going when most would quit, you separate yourself from the pack, and eventually that separation turns into success, because most people won't do it. Most people will take the easy way. Most people will fold under pressure, but if you don't, if you stand firm, if you push harder, if you refuse to break, there is nothing you cannot achieve. And understand this: adversity doesn't just show up once. It will come again and again. Life will keep testing you, keep challenging you, keep asking, are you serious about this? And every time you have a choice, you can let it stop you, or you can let it drive you. And if you choose to let it drive you, if you refuse to let anything break your commitment, you will win. Not overnight, not without struggle, but you will win. Because success isn't reserved for the most talented, the most connected, or the most privileged. It belongs to the ones who refuse to quit. It belongs to the ones who get knocked down and get back up. It belongs to the ones who see adversity not as a reason to stop, but as a reason to go harder. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And the only question that matters is, which one are you? Self-improvement is your greatest investment. If you want a better life, a better career, a better future, it all starts with a better you. Because the truth is, success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. Too many people focus on external goals, on things they want to have, on the rewards they think they deserve, but they forget that the key to getting those things isn't out there, it's inside. If you want more, you have to become more. If you want to change your results, you have to change yourself. Most people don't understand this. They think success is about luck, connections, or circumstances. They think if only they had more money, more time, or more opportunities, then everything would fall into place. But it doesn't work that way. Because even if you're handed an opportunity, if you're not ready for it, you'll lose it. If you're not capable, if you're not skilled, if you're not disciplined, no amount of luck will save you. You don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your preparation. That's why personal growth is not optional, it's essential. Think about it. If you gave $1 million to someone with a poor mindset, bad habits, and no financial discipline, how long would it last? Not long. They would lose it, waste it, or mismanage it. Why? Because their knowledge and habits don't support that level of success. But if you take someone who has studied, developed skills, built discipline, and learned to manage money wisely, they'll not only keep that million, they'll multiply it. The difference isn't the money. The difference is the person. That's why the most successful people in the world spend more time working on themselves than anything else. They read, they learn, they practice, they refine. They know that everything they want is a byproduct of who they become. And that's the secret most people miss. They chase things instead of growth. They want a better job but never improve their skills. They want a better body but never change their habits. They want a better life but never work on themselves. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But when you make self-improvement your priority, everything else starts to shift. You become more valuable. And when you're more valuable, the world rewards you accordingly. Your mindset changes, your confidence grows, your abilities expand. You start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You start making decisions from a place of wisdom instead of impulse. And most importantly, you start to realize that success isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. The problem is most people don't want to do the work. They want fast results, instant success, overnight change. They want the rewards without the process. But real growth doesn't happen in a day, it happens daily. It happens in the small, consistent choices you make, in the books you read, in the skills you practice, in the time you invest in yourself. And at first, it may not seem like much. You might not see immediate results, but over time, those small efforts compound, and one day, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. So ask yourself, what are you doing to grow? What are you learning? How are you challenging yourself? Because if you're not growing, you're staying the same. And if you're staying the same, your results will stay the same. But if you commit to self-improvement, if you dedicate yourself to becoming better every single day, there is no limit to what you can achieve. The best investment you will ever make is in yourself. Because when you grow, everything around you grows. And when you become better, everything in your life gets better too. Discipline and consistency win the game. Success is not about bursts of motivation or moments of inspiration. It's about what you do every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Too many people wait to feel ready. They wait for the right mood, the right energy, the perfect conditions before they take action. And that's why they never move forward. Because success isn't built on feelings. It's built on habits. It's built on showing up, doing the work, and staying committed no matter what. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is never talent alone. It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's discipline. It's the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't want to do it. It's about making progress every day, even if it's small, even if it's difficult, even if no one is watching. Because what you do consistently will always outweigh what you do occasionally. Think about it. Anyone can eat healthy for a week, but what about a year? Anyone can work hard for a few days, but what about every day? Anyone can stay motivated for a short period, but what about when motivation fades? That's where most people give up. That's where they lose. Because they think success is about intensity, but it's really about consistency. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the top performers in any field, they all have one thing in common. They don't rely on how they feel. They rely on their habits. They wake up and do what needs to be done no matter how tired, frustrated, or unmotivated they are. Because they understand that discipline is stronger than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you moving forward. And this is where most people fail. They get excited, they set big goals, they make a plan, but the moment things get difficult, they stop, they skip one day, then another, then another. And before they know it, they're back where they started, wondering why nothing has changed. But the truth is, nothing changes until you change. Nothing improves until you stay consistent long enough to see results. Success is a long game. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens through months and years of effort, through the boring work, through the small, unglamorous actions that no one talks about. The early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline, that's what builds success. That's what separates those who win from those who wish. But here's the problem. Most people want fast results. They want instant success. They want to see progress immediately. And when they don't, they get discouraged and quit. But that's because they don't understand how success really works. Progress is invisible at first. It's slow. It's frustrating. You won't always see the rewards right away. But if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, if you keep putting in the work, eventually the results will come. And when they do, people will call you lucky. They'll say you had an advantage. They won't see the years of effort, the late nights, the sacrifices. They won't see the discipline it took to get there. But you will know